Sam Houston State University's Center for Law, Engagement, and Politics traditionally sends a group of students on a trip to the presidential inauguration. But with all that has happened, they've embarked on a COVID-conscious trip with testing and all for a timely civil rights journey instead. Here's their experience in their own words.
5 students on this trip. We all come from different backgrounds. We're different races.
So we thought there's nothing more relevant right now than trying to understand and learn more about the fight for civil rights and equality and how that started and how it's going. We've seen that from the Civil War to the civil rights movement of the 1960s all the way to today. We're seeing art in these museums that are from 2020, and we're seeing how the timeline has evolved and how it's still ongoing to this day.
It's definitely still a problem. I'm really proud of my peers who are with me, who don't necessarily look like me or have had the same background as me, and are really interested in learning more about the civil rights movement and just the rights that everybody has gained to be equal.
So we're kind of getting a better understanding and feeling of how it was for them, and it's kind of similar to how we're feeling now.
We had the opportunity to visit Medgar Evers, his home. And prior to coming on this trip, I took a class that briefly kind of discussed Medgar Evers, but I never really knew exactly who he was. It was kind of bittersweet. Medgar Evers was assassinated at his home, but I also recognize that he has contributed so much to the civil rights movement.
Like, I want to be a lawyer one day, so it gives me that to see like how they fought for what they want, and they fought. I feel like we still need that today.
One of the big ones for me was getting to see the site of Homer Plessy, who was from Plessy versus Ferguson. He set his lawsuit set the separate but equal doctrine in place, and we saw where he would have been arrested, and it was just a very powerful spot to me. You read about things and you conceptualize them in one way, but when you actually get to see them and be there in person, it's just a completely different feeling.
It's been really meaningful just because people think that it's our past, but it's really just part of our story that we're reliving right now.
You know, fast forward to today, equality in everything, but especially education. We want to remind you that the annual MLK Scholarship Breakfast will be virtual. You can watch right here on KHOU 11 at 9 a.m. Monday morning. It will air in place of Great Day Houston. The money raised at the breakfast has provided college scholarships for hundreds of students over the past 30 years. You can help too. Just go ahead and scan the QR code right there on your screen, and it will take you to a site where you can donate.